Do you look at this as why does it happen again, or do you look at this as
Oh.
solving the riddle at the end?
Well, you don't always have an absolute solve and solution in this league, but I think this was important for us. You go through 4 straight games, and we've I say this respectfully, but in the majority of the games, 3+ quarters in these last 4 games, I felt like we've played better than our opponent, and then we've dropped some of these leads, and you have to go through all the emotions and the detail on both ends, and then find a way to figure it out. And I think this is an important breakthrough early on in the season, just to continue to have these kind of games and then find a way to win. And I thought it was really important for us to go to OT, and deal with the frustration and then have to mentally reset, emotionally reset, to play 5 more minutes. And I thought we were very good in that overtime. So we'll continue to work and get better. But I saw a lot of positives tonight, and I love it when your team has to go through, the context of close games and pressure and dealing with leads and figuring out how to hold on to leads and then we had to play from behind also down the stretch. So I thought we had to show some grit and figure some things out.
The box score says 35-10-8 for Jimmy, and he was obviously great down the stretch of regulation, especially. But this wasn't just the Jimmy show. How important is that as well? That it was Gabe playing big minutes and making big plays at the end, and Bam having one of his best nights of the year. Just how important is it that it's not just one guy in a game like this doing the work?
Yeah, that is how we're built, and the guys are really embracing that. I think we're starting to understand what our identity has to be on both ends of the court. Jimmy was obviously sensational, particularly when we went down in the fourth quarter. He really put his imprint on those last few minutes of the fourth quarter and really willed a lot of our offensive possessions that really took some pressure off of us, on the other end. And I thought we had some key stops. But Max had a big 3, and I loved the fact that, he had struggled, from behind the line most of the game, and then still had, that big play, the big 3, down the stretch, and Bam picked it up as well in the fourth quarter. Really made some nice plays, and Kyle was orchestrating, and Gabe, was really all over the place defensively for us, and then was able to initiate offense for us going down the stretch. I just thought it was an important game, an important win for us mentally and emotionally. Just keep on getting to that point and then find a way to figure it out.
Well, one thing you guys have consistently done well to start the season is force turnovers, and tonight obviously was an important part of the game as well. What have you liked about the way you guys have been able just to be disruptive pretty consistently early on?
Well, one, that it's part of our identity that we really want, that to be disruptive and get teams out of their comfort zone in a lot of different ways, which requires a big energy and focused commitment, to be able to be active and get our hands on balls, deny passes, play multiple schemes. But that's our lifeblood, defensively. I think the key with that in being disruptive is we're also still able, for the most part, to be able to protect the paint, protect the rim, and eliminate just the easy baskets. I still, of course, I'm a coach, so I would like to see it even better. We're nowhere near where we want to be or where we'll end up defensively, but at least, some of the foundational things of being disruptive and taking away easy baskets, we're starting to get there.
I know you've always spoken well of Cliff, and he has of you too. And he's without 3 of his biggest guys right now. And
yeah.
All their games lately, it seems like, have kind of looked like tonight did. How is he doing this with?
Yeah,
so
because he's a
shorthanded?
really good damn coach. He builds an identity. He builds a culture. It takes a little bit of time, to build those kind of habits. But we've experienced these games, over the years, that if you feel like it's a 10-point lead, they're going to find a way to grind back in it and make it a possession game. It just seems like all the time because they're building the right habits. Very disciplined defensively. They take away, your strengths. They game plan. And then offensively, they really try to play rock solid and execute with detail.
Coach, in a lot of these close games, you guys go down the stretch. You've utilized a lot of guard screening specifically for Jimmy, and you saw a little bit of that tonight, obviously. What does that create late in the game, specifically for Jimmy, when he's able to kind of create those advantages and get to those spots?
Yeah, I think it just allows us to get to some coherent spacing a little bit better. And it won't be our menu or package for every single stretch, going down in close games. But right now, as we kind of build our fourth quarter menu, that's one that everybody can feel super comfortable. Jimmy just makes brilliant decisions going down the stretch. It's not all about just him trying to score. He makes the right play. He really does. He reads the defense. He understands what the coverage is going to be, and then he'll know how to manipulate it and force a second defender. Or if they don't, he's just so good at shot making, going down the stretch. But we'll continue to build it, from here. And the best way to do it is to be in these games, and then you have something to review on film, the next day, and then you have something to start to work on. And obviously when we get Tyler back, that'll add to our menu going down the stretch. But overall, I just think it was really important for us mentally and emotionally to have a game like this and to have a breakthrough.
Erik, your team's percentages on wide open shots are down this year from where they were last season. It's kind of a continuation of the playoffs. What do you attribute that to? Because you are getting looks; they're not going down.
I don't know, and that's part of the discussion that we've had as a team. Is you just have to trust that process and continue to try to generate the looks that are in our strength zone. And the last 4 or 5 games, I've felt better about our offense, even if we haven't necessarily made those kind of open shots. I always look at it, can you generate those open shots? Those floodgates are going to, come open soon enough. And, it's just like I was telling our team this morning, there's going to be a time, too, where those floodgates break open with that second unit where I don't even have to put the starters back in. Like, we're that close to that happening. But I also like that mental discipline of having some losses, but generating better looks and better things offensively, and then staying with it. That takes some discipline as a team, and then you build the right habits, and then eventually you start to knock down those shots. It's still way too early, to judge whether guys are making open shots or not. The toughest thing in this league, can you get enough open shots?
All right, Coach,
Thank you.